Always so busy, never not busy, never not moving, never slowing down, going over here, going over there, never stop moving, moving all around. Do I even sleep? I don't even know. Do I even eat? Yeah, my stomach says yes. It actually says stop eating as much. Hi, everyone. This is Natty Bumper Car, and this is the Bumper Podcast, and it is summer. It is so summer, it hurts. It is so summer that you can't even believe how summer it is. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it's hot, and it has been hot it feels like forever. Every time I go out of my house, you know what I melt into a puddle, just right there. My kids, they want to go to the pool. They want to go to camp. They want to go to a movie, whatever they want to go to. They're like, come on, Dad, let's go. And I go, all right, just hold on a second. And then I walk out of the door, I turn into a puddle. And so now what the kids do, they know. They travel with a bucket so that anytime we have to go someplace, one of them goes out, starts the car, turns the air conditioning on. The other one goes and gets the bucket and the scoop. And then they know to tell me that we have to leave a lot earlier than you would think that we would have to leave, because they are factoring in the amount of time that it will take for me to walk out the door, melt, be scooped up, be put into the air-conditioned car, and recompose. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I guess I'm becoming less gooey, less gelatinous, more solid. I'm not sure. Now I don't even know. They figured it out. It wasn't me. If it was up to me, I just would have stayed a puddle for the rest of my days. And then the nights I would probably unpuddle because it would be cooler. And then in the morning, I guess I would just be a puddle again. That's not going to be good for the resale of the house, because I'm right in front of the front door usually when this happens. And, I don't know a lot about real estate. Some would say barely anything. But I'm guessing. This is me guessing. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm saying that having a puddle of goo right in front of the front door, probably not going to help with resale value. I mean, I can't promise that. I don't know it 100% for sure, but that's what my instincts, my just razor sharp business instincts are telling me. I don't have razor sharp instincts, you guys. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. I don't have razor sharp anything at this point. My fingernails, not razor sharp. My wit, not razor sharp. My sword, it's not even razor sharp. My knives, all of my knives, I was told I have to take my knives to a place to get them sharpened. And I don't know. I'm nervous about it because I don't really know what it means. I mean, I understand the concept. You have a knife, you take it to a place. The people there make it sharp somehow. I'm guessing AI, robots. Maybe they have, I don't know, a badger in the back, working in the back, who has skills. I don't know how it works, but I'm just freaked out because I'm going to take all my knives someplace. Then they're going to take my knives. They're going to do some sort of alchemy, some sort of magic to the knives. Or you know what they're going to do first? They're going to take the knives and they're going to judge me. They're going to look at the knives and they're going to judge me on the lack of sharpness, the just lack of upkeep on my knives. And so I have to mentally and emotionally prepare myself for that part. Like, I'm now getting over the hump of gathering up all the knives and then, finding the place, going to the place, getting out of the car, not melting, going into the place, and then they're just going to judge. they're going to look at the knives. They're going to kind of probably spread them out on the table or whatever, and they're going to look at them. They'll start picking them up. Maybe they'll even put them in order, like size order or something. They're going to start picking them up by the handle and kind of holding them straight up and looking at them, twisting them in their hand, twisting them back, kind of angling them more so they're getting a little bit of a different light. And as they're doing this, and they keep shifting it around in their hand, they're going to make these big sighs. Oh, okay. Like that. Not like, oh, well, okay, look at these knives. No, it's going to be Judgy McJudgerson, McMean, McKnife sharpeners. And then they're going to take my knives. And I'm going to forget to ask how much it all costs. And then in 2 weeks or whatever, when they hey, we got your knives back, I'm going to go and they're going to say, we really had to do a lot of work on those knives. And I'm going to be like, cool, I got it. Thanks. You already made me feel awesome. And they're going to go in the back. And they might even give me a ticket when I leave. So they might take my ticket when I get there, look at the ticket, then make fun of me, then go back to the back and bring out a bag or whatever, a tray maybe of my knives. And they're going to put them on the table and they'll say, take a look. Maybe they'll even give me like a carrot to cut just to prove how sharp these knives now are. Be careful with those. All right, those are very sharp now, much sharper than they were when I'm like, I get it, buddy. And they're like, would you like to cut a carrot? I'm like, well, yeah. Who wouldn't want to cut a carrot? You want to cut? We also have, you probably don't know this, you don't remember, but there used to be commercials on the television where they would sell knives and they would take a can, like a can of soup, can of pea, I don't know, some kind of metal can, and they go like, this knife can cut through anything, and they'd cut through the can with a knife, which in your mind you're like, well, that's destroyed. That knife is never coming back from that. And then they would go and they'd bring in a tomato and they would just whoosh right through it, like the knife was a razor blade, like the knife was a laser razor blade, and they would just cut right through that tomato. And then they'd go back and they would start hacking at, I don't remember what it was, a block of ice or something hard. And then they'd go back and they'd take a strawberry, a sweet, delicious little strawberry, and they would just so gently cut the strawberry, and you'd just go, well, these knives, what are they? How do I get them? And then they would tell you how much they were, how to get them, who to call, how long it was probably going to take for them to get to you. And then, you know what? You can also get a second set of knives that are also magic, that do the same magical things as the first set of knives that we showed you. Which to me is weird, because if you're showing me these undullable magic blades that I will pass down in my family for eternity, then why are you I don't need two sets. I don't need two sets of knives. That's a lot of knives. I would go so far as to say it's an unhealthy, unsafe amount of knives. Like if I'm going to go into a house and I see, people have like a block on their countertop and it's a knife block. And I walk in and I go, oh, look at those knives, cool. But if I walk in and I see two knife blocks, I'm turning around and leaving, because you're someone who has too many knives. I don't need to be around that many sharp surfaces. And if they're these magic knives, then they're very sharp. Very, very sharp. Anyway, back to my knife story. I'm there. Guy, you want to cut a carrot? Whatever. I don't think they'd bring out a can, although that'd be pretty amazing. And you're like, okay, these seem good, because they're knives. You're going to be like, okay, cut a carrot. Awesome. And then they'll start like, yeah, we also did this to it. We also upgraded you to this. We really felt like, and you're like, I just want my knives. I just want to go home and not have to think about knives anymore for right now, maybe ever. And then you're like, okay, well, what's the damage? What's the bill? How much is this gonna cost? Whatever. And then they throw out some number that's so exorbitant, so insanely expensive that you could have gone out and you could have gone to Norway and taken classes on craft knife building. And so you've flown, you're staying there for the 2 weeks, you are buying the materials, you're paying for the class, and you're flying back. And that would have been less money than what they are now charging you to sharpen your knives. And so you're in a real conundrum, because there's the knives, you've done everything, you took the mocking, you got them sharpened, and now you're looking at a bill, and you know they have you. The work has been done. There's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? You're just going to throw your hands up? You know what? I don't want these knives anymore. But you do, because they're your knives. What are you going to do when you get home? People are going to ask. Because you know what people in houses like to do? They like to cut things. They like to cut vegetables. They like to cut fruit. They like to cut meat. They don't like to cut cans. They don't. Well, they shouldn't. All right, I'm going to give you a little secret here. I've discovered that my child, one of my children, we won't say which one, has a tendency to take cans of soda, cans of seltzer, whatever it is, cans of beverage, we'll say, and he sneaks them out into the yard, and you're like, oh, come on, just let the kid have a can of Sprite. No. He takes the cans, and he takes knives, like sharp things, and he cuts into the cans. And then he comes in either covered in sugar water or maybe bleeding. What happened? Yeah, I fell off the slide. What? You fell off the slide? Are you okay? Oh, baby. Then you go outside and you see a massacred can, and you're like, this kid does not need any more knives at all.
The Bumper Podcast is an oftentimes hilarious weekly romp with Natty Bumpercar and some of his pals. It is family-friendly, clean, and ridiculous. Thanks a bundle for listening. If you love our show and you'd like to help support the podcast, check out our Patreon page at https://www.patreon.com/Natty Bumpercar. Also, pretty please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with everyone everywhere, post about it on all of the social medias, or leave a rating and review. The Bumper Podcast is produced at headquarters in Coffee Can Alley. It's recorded, mixed, and produced by producer. The Bumper Podcast features contributions from Aloysius J. Pig, Rufus T. Rufus, Doodle Poodle, Robot, Trunks, and a gaggle of other silly rascals. Our head talker is probably Natty Bumpercar. We also have an absurd newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at nattybumpercar.com/subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natty Bumpercar. Hugs and hearts. See you soon.